today's cup of coffee.
I'm nauseous.
More solar storms.
Makes me nauseous.
Yeah. Kid woke up this morning and I knew something wonky was going on because just this. I don't understand why some people are more aware of these things, or it affects some people more than it does others. I don't know. But just this weird, almost a surreal feeling, slightly headachy, all this stuff. Kid woke up and he was just not well at all. He had migraine, he had nausea, it just, blah.
Yeah.
And here a few hours later,
and it was like this weird tingling through my body.
Yes, you said your ears were tingling and stuff. And so this afternoon, and we are recording this on August the 9th of 2024 at 9:45 p.m. And Stephon Burns had, he came on with post, with a video about, geomagnetic storms, more of them.
Loves it.
And that there is this solar, it's a sunspot, that they're calling it Big Mama.
Big Mama?
Big Mama.
Is that like the sausage Bahama Mama?
Or
the Big Mama?
Big Mama. So they're not quite sure what's going on, but...
Because those are spicy. And this is some spicy weather.
Yeah.
Solar weather.
Maximum. And that's just like yesterday, I was going to post the link for Stephon Burns. I do post these things over on X.
Yeah.
Because
YouTube.
while I'm watching the video, I can go ahead and share the link then. And it's just like sometimes by the time we get around to recording hours, it's gone. Because brain glitch.
Yeah.
But it was just weird.
It's not fun.
All hail the mighty Spud. Because the fact now that I have more insulin, I was able to eat potato.
I wasn't able to eat the potato. I tried to. I got the potato out, and that's as far as I made it this morning. It was like,
you just couldn't. But now peppermint tea works well for you.
Yeah, I really like that peppermint tea.
So simple, old school remedies for nausea and different things like that. Works for some, doesn't work for all. I feel like I have to do a disclaimer. And our world has become so broken that I have to do a disclaimer on peppermint tea, there's a severe problem.
That's why I don't engage in this shit, because it mind fucks you.
Yeah, it does. It really does, because a lot of it is psyops. And it is designed to break brains. So I've had to withdraw quite a bit. Funky dreams this evening as far as nap time, and I had the power as far as Demon Slayer.
You did?
Yeah. It was wild.
You were a demon slayer in that dream, and that's fucking cool.
It was odd. It would have made a really cool video or game
movie,
or something like that. Mm-hmm.
TV series.
And when I have dreams like that, they are so detailed. I dream in color. I've always dreamed in color. I thought everybody dreamed in color.
People don't dream in color?
I've heard that people do not dream in color. I can't fathom it.
Are we abnormal? Because I can...
Well, yeah. Yeah, I think that's sort of known to most people who listen to us. But it was wild.
There's some people that I've heard that they just don't dream. It's just black.
Yeah.
Or kind of like TV static.
That's crazy. I can't even imagine that. But in this, it was like this different world. And I don't know if it's one of those alternate dimension type things. I've always wondered about that. Where do we go when we sleep?
That's a good question.
Because
Astral travel.
Different places, and they are legitimate places. And people that I don't know in this realm, in this life, but in that one I do. I could tell you in detail what a lot of them looked like.
Huh.
Yeah, you can't do that?
I won't say that I can't do that, because I certainly have. it's freaky. But I also have had dreams that have come true in this reality.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the reason I was sharing with Robert Phoenix. He had a thread over there on X, and I wanted to share with him your dream about the universe breaking apart and that there were all these colors in between.
That was... It's been so long and I never did write it down fully.
That's the reason.
Actually, I didn't write it down at all.
Dream journals, keep those, because you lose the ability. It's the reason it's important while it's fresh that you get down as much as you can.
But it started up here at the house, and the reality was breaking. Like I went down the front steps into the yard. There was a black car or truck or something. It was some dark colored vehicle in the bottom of the driveway, parked in the bottom of our driveway. Pieces literally being broke out of this dimension or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I ran down to I was freaking out, so I don't know if I drove down to Nana's house or walked there. Either way, somehow I ended up there.
Right.
And I was in old brother's room.
Right.
And then the reality in that room started breaking apart. And
wow.
I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
There was no escaping it.
Right. Right. There was a reason I wanted to share that with Robert. Like I said, it had to do with a thread that he had started. And it was pertinent. We have cats. The cats are going nuts, too.
You want to hear another dream that I had that felt real, but it involved down there at Nana's?
Maybe.
The horse. I was in the horses area, and it went behind a bush. And then what came out was no longer the horse.
Really?
It had sort of a warped, twisted horse face, but it kind of reminded me of a chess piece, kind of like that knight chess piece. But it was fleshy, and its eyes, like it just had dots like it was basically all white with a dot in the center.
Like it was painted?
No, it wasn't painted. It was just like they were beady eyes, but it was like you could see the whole eyeball, but it's just the actual, what would be the color part and the pupil was just super small. Like it looked creepy,
right?
And it glided across the ground.
Oh, wow.
And it was chasing me, and everything, like the sky turned red, the whole area turned. You know how like this, when the sky is pink in the evening or whatever, everything turns like orangey pink.
Right.
It was red.
Wow.
And it was chasing after me, and I knew if it got me, I was not going to be alive.
Interesting.
So I bolted into Nana's house.
Right.
It was a terrifying fucking thing.
I'm sure that it was. Well, there again, it's like, maybe some catnip tea. Catnip tea has been used historically, traditionally, when people have nightmares, night terrors and stuff. Yeah.
Loves it.
Mm-hmm. Lots of things. Plants are magical. I love plants. I do. And there's some really, really cool people over on X that show flowers and stuff, and just really cool humans over there.
Mm-hmm. The most recent dream that I had that was creepy, it was like, I don't know what was going on, but we were all in this room, and this person in front of us, I can't remember if it was male, female, but either way they looked dead at me and was like, we need you to be the goat.
Yeah, that was the one I haven't.
And I still don't know in what context. I'm just sort of like, okay. Like, that's how I responded in the dream. And then I got sat in this white room with this 4:3 aspect ratio TV, and this just, it was gore and demonic stuff was on the TV. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm going back up just slightly to give acknowledgement to somebody on the X that I subscribe to. It's called Flower Show, and it's at The Flower Show.
Uh-huh.
Amazing pictures of flowers, and sometimes as far as the different names and what they do and stuff. Just a great person to subscribe to.
Yeah. That's cool.
There's so many wonderful people. So many of them. It's not all a shit show over there. It's not.
No.
Be very selective, and it can be a very enjoyable place. And we're hoping for like good dreams and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And to give this weekend to give everybody's brain a bit of a break. And I was trying to find what am I doing here? Everybody's like, what the hell is she doing? Brain glitch.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing a bit of a brain glitch. Because there was somebody else that I was going to give shout out to. Because she's wonderful and she does occasionally come over and watch our videos. She makes the most incredible jewelry. And I do not want to be disrespectful in the least. It's JJ. And I can't, oh my God. I can tell you what she does, and I can't find her exact. Is it channel? Is it? I don't know what this stuff. Page. Now, I know that I have liked a bunch of her stuff. It's just a matter. I'm a lot more active on here than I realize that I am. I really am. Uh-huh. And, excuse me, I've also got a whole lot of allergies going on right now. I'll find it here in just a moment, and I'll give her a full shout out. Gorgeous jewelry, handcrafted. She's an amazing artisan. And just, yeah, I'll think of it here in just a minute. I'll look for it while I can't multitask. Aha! JJ of Rhine de Blanc brand. Okay. I may not have said that correctly. I am sorry, JJ, if I have not. Just amazing. Like I said, it's beautiful, bold. I mean, this is not this little dainty because you don't know. She highlights the different stones.
Uh-huh.
And just gorgeous.
Oh, that's awesome.
The things that she creates are like, they will become family heirlooms.
Priceless things.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous things that are timeless.
There are those people out there, and through like X and different things like that, you can find some incredible people.
Cool.
Those are the ones that I prefer to subscribe to because I want to see their content more than somebody that's doing stupid shit. Mm-hmm. If I want to see stupid shit, I'll have kids show me TikTok.
Which I do quite frequently.
Yes, you do. And it's like...
You like the wig lady, though.
Yes. There are some talented people on TikTok. But there's also a lot of them that I'm like, dear God, help us.
Oh, yeah. Idiocy is... It's on there.
That should be kept private. But the main theme of today is kiddies went back to school this week. You know what that means? It's officially Halloween season.
Spooky season!
Because, well, some of us have been doing the Halloween stalking or the stalking of Halloween since July. Because there's little by little, some of the places will start putting out the spoopy.
Mm-hmm.
But usually after the after school thing, they can go just hardcore with it.
Loves it.
And it's like, because busy or no energy or anything in between, still looking to get to TJ Maxx soon.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes when we go, it's disappointment. It's like when the gingham, oh God, and the flocked pumpkins. Why? Now there'll be somebody that's going, I happen to have all the flocked pumpkins. You offended me. Well, I'm sorry.
Old beauty school owner was one of those people.
And Anyhow,
She had the velvet
you all
covered
do
pumpkins.
Halloween the way you want to do Halloween. I am old school. I am old bat. Okay? So for me, when they start messing with the pastels and some of these colors that are bad in any season, I think what they're doing on some of this stuff, they're painting it because they've got leftover paint.
It could be.
Because that it didn't work on anything else, and they're like, oh, we'll put it on Halloween. Some fool will buy it.
Yeah.
And that's true.
In the shades of, like, the green wasn't even good. The purple wasn't the right shade.
No, they weren't. It was this pinkish, purplish, ugh. And I'm like, no, let somebody else to do with that. Now, this is always my challenge this time of year is the coffee cups. The coffee cups. And oh my God, I have so many of them. And I need to rearrange some of them because they're billowing out everywhere.
You're going to end up with a room just a collection room of coffee cups.
And that's not good when you have cats.
No. And it reminds me of
recipe for disaster.
It reminds me of that skit of Dude and his mug collection.
Yes.
And Dude got boom mites stuck in the
fan.
And the only one that he had left that was not broken was the one Dude was holding.
Uh-huh. And
it was the one that started it all.
Yes. The original. Hey, I have a mug that was out. It's not a mug. It's one of the, they used to call it Melmac. It's a type of plastic that is blue. I actually, at one point, did show that in a video. That belonged to my grandparents. It's the little one sitting in the window.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Loves it.
So, but there's some of them that I'm like, yeah. After I got home, in the store, I'm like, oh, I've got to have this. And I get it home and I'm like, did I really?
Last time I was at Target, they actually had some transparent, like, dishware.
Yeah, I hate that.
I actually really liked some of it.
Yeah. Well, what happens
because it
with
was like a gradient type thing.
Some of that is that over time with the wear and tear of just daily usage, you get scratches and different things like that. And when you've got something that's transparent, it very much highlights. Think of your glasses lenses.
Yeah.
I
can't see them when they're on my face for the most part.
Oh, but
I can see the little specks, but no matter how many times I clean them,
And when I first started doing the collecting, which was years ago when I first started the channel, and I did order some specifically just so that I could get the mug shot. And those are the ones that are small.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that are very rarely, unless we're fixing herbal tea or something that I use the large mugs. But now I think BB had got me one that it took honestly like a half a pot. That one's a little too big.
Yeah.
But it was hilarious. It was like, she buys me some cool things. But most of the mugs, I do rotate them out. But I've got some of them that are in the top of the cabinets that I can't reach and I can't see them. And it's like, this is a problem because I'm a short person.
You need a step stool just to get to them.
I do. But the thing is, it's like you have a tendency to hide my step stools.
Mama, you got the step stool in your room that your fan's sitting on.
But I've also got another one that's a foldable one.
Yeah, I found that.
Where was it?
It was in my... It was in the Orange Mobile. For some reason, it was in the Orange Mobile.
I live with people who try to gaslight me all the time.
Except with me, it's never intentional.
No, he honestly can't remember.
Yeah.
It's some kind of a thing. We've got to try to figure out what that thing is. Oh, anyhow, officially with the spoopy season, since I'm hoping to stay in this weekend, was looking through some of the underrated horror movies. And on IMDb, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool site because people can make their own lists
Oh, cool.
of things.
I thought it was just whoever owned the website did it.
No, this was the one I'm looking at here. Just because I can't think on my own right now, was by somebody called Joker's Asylum. What a cool screen name that is.
Yeah.
And so this individual had created the list. Oh, he had modified it 2 weeks ago, but it was created 5 years ago. And it was under top underrated horror movies, overlooked horror films, and most underrated horror movies. So, it's in no particular order. Some of them I had never heard of before, so I was actually looking for some that I was familiar with but had forgotten about. Because everybody does that. They're like, oh yeah, I did watch that back in the 80s. I did watch that back in the 90s. I need to go back and rewatch that and see if it was pretty cool. There's one that was, and it was not necessarily a good movie, but the music was awesome, and it was called Black Roses.
Black Roses?
Yes. And what it was a horror movie based around heavy metal of the 80s.
Okay.
So it was like, it was everything that it was just me at that point in life.
Uh-huh.
And Mr. Jingles was, he knew that movie.
He did?
He did. Because he knows many things. I'm convinced Mr. Jingles over on X is slightly magical himself. So, going through this list, now I remember this one that was called My Bloody Valentine. This was not on
I've
all
heard
of them
about
from
that.
the 80s. It was from 2009.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if I had heard of it. I am not a slasher movie fan. And so,
Some of them are alright, but like most of them, it's just no.
yeah, it has to have a story for me. If it doesn't have a story, if it's just random whatever, I'm like, no. I can read the news and get some of that. And I don't want, some of this stuff I don't want to think about. If it's spooky and it's, like I said, there's a difference between spooky fun and some of them, I don't know. Not downing anybody that's their thing. It's just not my thing. And
Right.
maybe it's because I had the background in nursing.
Maybe.
And EMT, and because I have seen stuff.
You've seen enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I really have. But scrolling through here, there was one that was called, it came out in 2001, and it was a remake, and it's called 13 Ghosts.
Oh my
I
God.
wish somebody, now that is one I wish that somebody would take that and flesh it out a little more. No pun intended. Because the original, which was black and white, was good. But this one from 2001 actually was quite good.
You had the DVD of it.
Uh-huh. I think I still do over there on the shelf. Because I wouldn't have gotten rid of it. But it was quite interesting. And the thing is, with the ghost, each one of them had a story behind them. Mm-hmm. And in both movies, it never did give enough information about the ghost, why they were there. What it was, dude was capturing ghosts and keeping them in this mansion. Mm-hmm. That some obscure relative ended up inheriting.
Huh.
So it is a cool movie. I liked it.
But in the remake, I just remember someone getting sliced up with lasers for some reason.
Did they remake it since 2001 or something?
No, this is the 2001 version.
Like I said,
Someone got cut up with lasers
Need
and
to go back
got
and rewatch
squished
it.
between two panes of glass.
That seems like that one. Now, in the original one from the 50s or 60s, none of that stuff happened.
No.
And the effects there in the black and white version, very cheesy, very campy.
Yeah.
But it still had I like those cheesy, campy, old black and white monster movies. I do.
They're a lot more easy to watch.
They are. They don't break your brain.
No, and it's...
One that was brain breaking, I watched it once. I think this was the one. I can't remember if it was I Spit on Your Grave or if it was the one Drag You to Hell or Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to
I think
Hell.
it was Drag Me to Hell. Was that the one about the old gypsy?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That one messed with me.
I never watched it.
Don't. Because it really is. If it's scary enough to where I'm like, I don't ever want to watch that again. I mean, it's effective. It's effective. But do I really want to have, trauma on some of this stuff? I think not.
Yeah. Oh.
What?
An underrated horror movie. I don't know. Debate me on this. One Missed Call.
I can't remember that one. I don't know that I've ever watched that one.
It was like during that time that they released like the American version of The Grudge, Ju-on. Which, by the way, the Japanese version is better.
Of course it is.
And same for the Japanese version of One Missed Call. But I actually kind of liked the American version, too.
Okay.
The woman with the mouth eyes. Yeah. She had...
Interesting.
Her eyes were mouths.
Interesting. So you got quite a bit of surrealism and stuff on there.
Yeah, and you would get a call... Like, the people would get a call... And it... Like, it would show up as a missed call, and then they would play the voicemail back because they didn't recognize the number or whatever. And it was them screaming.
I remember that we watched that one Japanese horror flick that time. It said something about that one kid had lollipops or jawbreaker or whatever, and it had to do with hospitals. It went on forever.
Yeah, that was a version of One Missed Call.
Was it?
Yeah.
And it ended... They do not end movies the way that we end movies.
No, they don't.
Because that's how they write their stories. I went through a period of time of studying Japanese literature, and it's like...
But also, I think that we watched a weird version
Maybe.
or whatever, so...
But there was no lead up. Usually in Western literature, you have, okay, this is how this began, and then you have the middle part of it of what is going on, and then you have the finale.
Yeah.
They don't do that. They're just like, here it is.
Sort of.
That's it.
Now, see, in The Grudge, in Ju-on, it was like vignettes, but it all correlated within the same thing.
Well, it was a matter of trying to piece together exactly what happened.
Yeah, but it was each person who got the curse because they all went into the house, and if you go into the house, you're automatically cursed in Ju-on. And so it was everyone's story. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes it would link together with other stories and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, and it's like there's no right way. It's just a difference, and you have to understand that there is a difference, or some of these things are not going to make sense.
Yeah.
One that, I can't remember if I watched this one or not. It was from 92. Leprechaun.
Oh, God, Leprechaun.
There's quite a few people that have enjoyed that movie over the years.
It's a cheesy movie.
Of course it is. Those are the fun kind. Those aren't like the Ginger Dead Man, Evil Bong,
Jack Frost.
Some of those are just fun. But honestly, those campy freshman year movies are great.
They are.
I can't watch them with kid in the room with
No.
me because they've usually got some kind of
it's
sexual connotation
it's
that
more
we're
than just-
uncomfortable watching around each other.
And sometimes it's more than sexual connotation.
Yeah.
And it's like,
well, it's
Yeah,
like
I know.
Spencer's. Like I said, it's freshman year. And
Yes.
it's like, God, really? And some people never get over that. They honestly never do.
No, but
and there's
that's where-
people that's raising their hands or looking rather sheepish
But
right
that's-
now.
yeah, that's where I got the monkey phrase.
There was one that seems like I remember. It was called Chud, CHUD, about
Was
these
it?
things that, under the things living in the sewers in New York.
Rat people.
I can't remember if it was rat people or if it was alligators or something like that. But I don't think that it was a bad movie. Yeah, obviously it wasn't one. Like I said, these are some that I need to go back. They've got on this list, and I do think this is just wrongly underrated because it's one of our favorites. Maximum Overdrive.
I love that movie.
We do love that movie.
I love the soundtrack, and I actually like just the film itself.
AC/DC did the soundtrack.
Yeah.
How could you not like
ass.
this?
It was kick ass.
It is a good movie. Is it cheesy in a lot of it? Yes. Are there characters you're in there going, oh please let them get run over by the monster trucks and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
There's a couple of them that when they meet their demise, you're like, yes!
What was that one movie that it's something turned into like slime or something like that, and these creatures were eating on it, and the dude was at the bottom, they were on the top of something, and he was like, oh my god, they're eating her, and then they're gonna eat me, oh my god!
I don't remember that. I have no idea.
And he was like this little nerd dude.
I have no idea. It wasn't Reanimator, was it?
I don't know.
Reanimators are good.
I really don't know. I've never watched Reanimator.
Reanimator, you need to watch that sometime. But Maximum Overdrive, watch that one. If you have not seen that, or if it's been a while since you've seen it, watch it again. They're talking about some of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. That's really interesting because the first movie, and that was sort of one of those things you had to be there in that time and see it because it was a cultural thing. It really was. There had not been anything else like it before.
Right.
And it has inspired so many other things. And that was the first time that I had seen them use, is almost like they had that latex sheet that appeared to be the ceiling or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then the imprint of Freddy's face and body and stuff above the character.
Yeah.
Scared the shit out of me.
Freaky.
Yes, because it was just like,
It's like, oh shit.
For me, the scariest scene, for whatever reason, was when Freddy was walking down this alleyway and his arms abnormally extended. And that still freaks me out, and I don't know why.
Because it's uncanny.
It's just, yeah, but the type of reaction that I have, I'm like, there's some kind of trauma somewhere that I don't recognize. But it was, and that noise. My God, the noise of the claw knives going across the metal. It was brilliantly done. And then as the series kept going on, a lot of really dark humor, which I like comedy and humor together if it's done properly.
Yeah, it became more campy.
Yeah. And I don't have a problem with that. But some of the stuff was just gross.
Yeah.
And I don't, if it's something that's just
Gross.
for the gross out, I'm like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the one scene that I'm thinking of was to the point that it sort of nauseates me to think about it, and I don't even want to talk about it.
Okay. Well, you want to know another movie series that got more campy? The first one was kind of serious. It actually was more serious than all the other ones, and then as the movies went on, it got campy. Child's Play.
Yeah. Yeah, Child's Play is but you know what? I don't know that that's necessarily
Bride
a
of Chucky
bad
came around.
thing.
Huh?
I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing because it has taken on it has a cultural relevance all of its own.
Yeah, it really does. But I really like. A lot of people are like, "Oh, the first Child's Play movie is kind of boring." No, it's actually really good. I like it. But the best one, though, out of all the Chucky movies is Child's Play 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is a Chucky expert. He truly, truly is.
I haven't yet to watch the series.
This is one that we have watched and we actually own because as far as they still occasionally have the DVD bins that you could rummage through.
Yeah.
And we will do that.
Yeah, we might as well take advantage of it before it gets completely phased
I
out.
like physical media.
A lot of people do. Because physical media it's needed.
There was one that's called Darkness Files. Do you remember that one?
No. Which one is that?
We've got it. We've got it. And that's where the Tooth Fairy thing.
Oh.
It is actually very well done.
Oh.
It is very well done.
Have you ever seen The Dentist?
No, I don't. I have a dental phobia.
Yeah, same. But that
No,
freaked my ass out.
I'm not going to watch something that makes it worse. Now, House of Wax, and I'm not sure if is that the same thing as the Wax Museum? That's a different one, isn't it?
No, Wax Museum is different, but there were two versions of House of Wax. There was the one that was in black and white, and then the remake that had Paris Hilton in it, where she got the pipe dome through her
that's
head.
the one. Yes, this is the one he has on here that was from 2005. You liked that movie.
I actually did, and I didn't think Paris Hilton did a bad job acting in it.
Well, you know.
She got a pipe thrown through her head.
There's one about the Wax Museum that they don't have on here, and it's quite good. It's interesting. It's campy also, but there is a scene in there where there's a guy that plays the vampire. And my God, he is gorgeous. He looks like something off of one of these Harlequin romance from the day. And what was interesting, went and looked about the actor. He was from someplace in Tennessee, and he got out of Hollywood. And nobody really knows much about him other than just he was there and then he left. But damn, that was such a good scene. It was really, that whole thing is very interesting. It's not
I don't remember jack shit.
to vampire lore, because vampires as far as blood, not cannibalism. You just have to see it, but it's not bad. It's not a bad movie at all.
Have you ever watched Night of the Demons or something like that?
I don't know that I have. They got Bride of Chucky on here.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of the Chucky things. He, she, it has got a lot of the Chucky things on here.
Bride of Chucky is really, truly where it got camp.
They've got on here the Books of Blood. Now, this was based on Clive Barker.
When you said Books of Blood, I was thinking like
Books of
Bucket of Blood.
And Clive Barker, you need to read some of his stuff because it is a psychological horror. I like his stuff. Lots. He was the one that wrote the script for Hellraiser.
Uh-huh.
He is one of the few people that I know of that his movies can actually be better than the stories, because Hellraiser was based on a novella, and my God, Hellraiser is just the first time I watched it honestly, that was one of those, I've grown ass woman down there, and it's like calling my mommy. I'm scared the shit out of myself. And they're going, well, why the hell did you watch it? Well, because I'm dumbass. You know?
I'm here alone. I'm scared the shit out of myself.
I did. But he has some really good, and the Books of Blood are short stories. It's a collection of short stories, and there's quite a few of them. I can't remember how many. So they did this, and I honestly have only watched it once, and that was, and I think they've got the remake, because I know that the one I saw was before 2020. It was kind of brutal, but some of the stories he wrote are kind of brutal.
I don't know that I watched it.
I don't know that but they've got it on here.
I've got out of watching horror movies.
I will have to look and see this 2020 version, but Books of Blood is, everybody is a Book of Blood. We're all red on the inside. Clive Barker is a different.
He's a different breed of human.
He is, and I appreciate him. I really do. Children of the Corn. I didn't think
is that underrated.
I didn't think it was underrated. This was the original 1984, and when you got, what was his name, Malachi or whatever.
Malachi?
I don't know, but my God, he
was like the leader.
The hell out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anytime you've got evil children's doing stuff like that, that's creepy.
I don't know. There's just an element to children in general that's creepy.
Yeah, sometimes, yes. Now, he's got one on here, and I don't know if I can go back and watch it or not, because this is a movie that I hated so much the first time that I watched it. This was from 1979. I watched it in the 80s, and it's called Prophecy.
I've never watched it. I never even
And
heard
it's
of it.
one of these, it ends up being this environmental bullshit thing.
Oh, I've heard you talk about it before.
I
God.
hated it. And I can't tell you how many people that's like, oh, this is a fabulous movie. This is that. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. And if y'all want to watch it and come back and go, Orlando, honey, you need to watch it again because you missed all this.
Have you ever watched Sleepaway Camp?
Probably not. Probably not. Terror Vision. I remember that one briefly. We need to go back and look for that. Suspiria was weird.
Yeah. It had a weird energy on it, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't. If it's got a weird energy or something, no, put that down. Chopping Mall seems like that's another one of those things.
That sounds like...
It's probably another slasher or something.
Yeah, but it sounds like one of those cheesy things.
Probably there was a lot of cheesy stuff that was in the 80s, but a lot of it
It's
was
like Chop Goblins.
way cool. And this one, I'm going to end it here because we could go on with this for days, and I know nobody wants us to go on with this for days because we already run way long. Shocker.
What was that?
Shocker was awesome. And what is interesting is Mitch Pileggi, I probably ruined that last name. He played in X-Files.
Okay.
He was Skinner.
He was Skinner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think he was a very attractive man. I do. But in Shocker, he was a criminal. And that as far as the electric chair, but he had done this stuff and he had gone into the electricity.
Oh.
And I do remember that seems like it had a kick-ass soundtrack. Because that was
Cool.
the main thing. It could be a mediocre movie, but if it had a kick-ass soundtrack, I was there.
Have you ever watched... Now, it goes by two titles, I think. Because there's a European version and then the American version. I don't know why they switched the titles up. It goes by either Brain Damaged or Brain Dead. And it's basically like a zombie movie type thing.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's so campy. It's funny.
There was like Shaun of
And
the Dead.
there's a baby
God,
in it.
I love Shaun of the Dead. That is such a good movie.
Yeah.
No, I don't know as far as it's got cats chewing on electrical things.
Yes, so that means we need to wrap this up so I can get her out.
Yes, yes. No, but that'll give people enough to where over the weekend they can look for some of these. They could, share other ones that it's like, hey, you forgot about this. This is a great movie. Got panned because the critics, fuck the movie critics, go with what the fans like, and it could be something that you like personally that everybody else hated.
Right.
Share those. Put that in the comments.
A lot of the time, reviews messes with your own perception of a movie.
Oh,
So it's like, fuck it.
I'm not a fan of movie critics. I'm not a fan of any kind of critics. Who does that? Who does that for a living to sit there and go, yes, I want to go around and make everybody feel bad and tell them how inadequate they are? No. That's just a piss poor
Melonhead.
excuse for a human being.
Melonhead. He's a music critic.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, the needle drop.
Mm-hmm.
He's a music critic. Yet his own music flopped when he released it.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So, final thoughts, kid? We could do
Watch
this.
what you like to watch.
We, honest to God, we sit around and do some of this stuff. Just, yeah.
Yeah.
This is part of how we talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah. This
And
is just
music.
it.
We're a pretty low-key group of humans.
Simple.
Who just happen to like odd stuff and Halloween season. And it's like, yes, this is our time to shine.
We need to watch the movie Shrunken Heads.
We might look for that. He has this fascination with shrunken
I
heads.
love shrunken heads.
He does. He does. I'm like,
I want a real one, but Mom's like, it's somebody's
face.
It is.
No.
That's the whole thing.
No, that's bad energy. That's somebody's face.
Okay, I'll have a replica, a really good replica.
Anyhow, if you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural, what?
Beetlejuice, the new Beetlejuice movie. You should
Yes.
see the merch for it.
They do have the merch coming out, and even Fanta is having movie cans and stuff like that, which is cool.
The shrunken head dude, you can get the cup.
Okay.
It's his head.
Does that mean it's going to be an espresso cup?
No, it's actually a pretty good sized cup, surprisingly. I want it,
It
though.
was just there.
I want it, though. I want to go to the theater just so I can buy it.
Do you have to buy it? You could probably buy it online.
Yeah, for double the price. It's $15 at the theater, and online it's $50.
Oh, well, just give it a couple of years. Anyhow, before this cat starts tearing up shit, if you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, tinfoil hats, you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. It's there in the description box. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
And if you like this video, comment, like, share, subscribe. Check her out on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Rolanda COCWS. Thank you all. Have a good.
And there's all kinds of cool people over there. Look for the cool people and let the other ones just be jerks all their own. You don't have to engage with that.
Yeah.
Know that you are loved. It's spoopy season.
Mm-hmm.
Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. Give your brain, your spirit, and your body a rest this weekend. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.